Hello and welcome to Dino's Vault and welcome to the ultimate comparo that you guys kept requesting for, which is the Meteor 350 versus the CB350 Highness. These are the most talked about and most anticipated motorcycles currently in the market, and both the bikes are awesome in their own special way. I would like to equate both of them to two amazing singers who ruled the 90s here in our Indian film industry, Mr. Kumar Shanu and Mr. Udit Narayan. Both of them legendary singers, both of them special in their own way, both of them king of melody, but still they are different in their own unique, separate way. Similarly, the CB350 as well as the Meteor 350 are different, and they are for different types of audiences, different types of riding styles, and different type of riding preferences. So both are amazing, but since this is a battle, only one shall reign supreme at the end of this comparo. So who's it gonna be? So let's not waste any more time. Let's kickstart this signature style Dino Bhai comparo. And if you haven't noticed already, I'm also wearing a HRC cap while holding the Meteor 350 cup. So the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 versus the Honda Highness CB350, two unique surprise launches back to back, and suddenly they have garnered all the attention in our two-wheeler market. So you know immediately that these bikes are equipped right to the core, have something special on offer, and also carry a really competitive price tag. So while Honda was preparing their ultimate secret weapon to surprise Royal Enfield, it's like Royal Enfield was ready to take them head on, and lo and behold, the Meteor 350 just came out of nowhere. It's almost like while the Australians were preparing Shane Warne to stun the world, India already had the Master Blaster Sachin ready to weather the storm. Now let's start with the design. The Meteor is primarily a low-slung cruiser that appears longer, wider and bigger when compared to the CB350, but a surprising fact is that the CB has a longer wheelbase of 1441 mm when compared to 1400 mm of the Meteor. However, the low seat height of 765 mm compared to 800 mm of the CB makes it look like a proper low-slung cruiser or a chopper with a super fat 140 section rear tire as opposed to the 130 section rear tire on the Highness. In terms of lighting, the CB gets LED lights all around, including LED turn blinkers, which are always on along with the headlamp. The Meteor, on the other hand, gets LED ring light on the headlamp as well as on the tail lamp, but the actual lighting is all halogens. Even the tank panels get different designs for these two bikes. The Meteor gets the signature style teardrop shaped tank, whereas the CB gets a more muscular roadster kind of a tank design. Both the bikes get chrome exhausts which look nice and premium. Talking about the seats, both get premium quality seats with double stitching, but I feel the Meteor gets better quality seat and better room for the rider as well as the pillion. The CB's seat is a little too soft, so it might end up giving you a butt ache after long rides. Riding ergonomics are slightly different for both these bikes. The CB gets an upright seating posture, whereas the Meteor gets a relaxed, laid back, comfortable riding posture with forward set rider foot pegs. Now, there's a flip side to this as well. So, highway cruising is more comfortable on the Meteor, but city commutes and city maneuverability is easier on the CB. No wonder the abbreviation CB stands for City Bike. Now, please do note that the CB also offers rock solid high speed stability, but the Meteor feels slightly more confidence inspiring. The build quality and fit and finish is top notch on both the bikes. No cheap quality material can be noticed anywhere. The paint quality is awesome, and I personally like the matte black color on the Meteor 350 and the blue color variant of the CB350. The Speedo consoles are all new as well. We get part digital, part analog consoles for both. The Meteor gets a dedicated display for navigation, whereas the CB gets only audio support for navigation with Bluetooth connectivity. Now, neither of them get a tachometer, which I personally prefer to have, but we do get other relevant info like gear position indicator, range, average fuel economy, etc. The switch gear is good for both, and both get an engine kill switch with a high beam flasher. Both of them get a hazard light switch, which really comes in handy while touring. Now, talking about the engine specs, the CB350 comes powered by a 348cc single cylinder air cooled fuel injected BS6 compliant engine that puts out 21 PS of max power and 30 Newton meters of max torque. The Meteor, on the other hand, comes powered by a 349cc single cylinder oil cooled fuel injected BS6 compliant engine that puts out nearly 20 PS of max power and 27 Newton meters of max torque. Now, both the bikes get a 5-speed gearbox. Both of them get taller gear ratios, but the gear ratios on the CB are taller compared to that of the Meteor. Also, in terms of ride feel, the Meteor offers better bottom end torque and superb mid range surge compared to the CB. Not that the CB feels sluggish, but comparatively, the Meteor offers a more engaging riding experience and also is more responsive. In terms of refinement, both are almost on the same page in terms of refinement. For Royal Enfield, the difference is apparent as night and day when we compare it with the Thunderbird's engine. The Highness is equally refined, and the thing here is Honda is always known to offer butter smooth engines, so we should be surprised only if the engine lacks refinement. Now, both the bikes carry the refinement throughout the rev band, and the CB350 offers the same refinement and same composure even while touching its claimed top speed of 130 km per hour, which is really awesome. Now, this can be attributed to the balancer shaft deployed on both the engines to cancel out the vibrations, and it really does make a world of difference. In terms of top speed, the Meteor tops out at 120 km per hour, whereas the Highness pulls up to 130 km per hour. But these machines are not at all about the top speed, they are basically about offering good bottom end torque with a good mid range pull, and the Meteor just inches past the Highness in this case because of a punchier state of tune of its engine. In terms of comfort, both the bikes get 41mm telescopic forks up front, so the ride quality is plush and the shock absorbers soak up the bumps effortlessly to give you a comfortable ride. The rear shocks are equally good on both the bikes. They support the chassis really well even while doing triple digit speeds to offer rock solid stability. The CB350 does get a slipper clutch, so the clutch feel is ultra light. Now, comparatively, the Meteor's clutch is not as light, but it is not too bothersome either. Also, the slipper clutch adds as a safety feature, allowing you to do faster downshifts without running the risk of the rear wheel locking or hopping. The Meteor, however, misses out on the slipper clutch. Now, both the bikes get fuel injection, so the fueling is precise without any snatchy throttle response. The Highness also gets a dual throttle cable setup to offer more consistent and clean throttle response all along. Now, talking about the brakes, the Highness gets a 310mm disc up front, whereas the Meteor gets a 300mm disc up front. At the back, the Meteor gets a larger 270mm disc compared to the 240mm disc on the CB. Now, both the bikes get dual channel ABS as standard. The Highness gets traction control as an extra safety feature which prevents excess wheel spin under hard acceleration scenarios. The Meteor, however, doesn't get traction control, so we can say that the braking is better on the CB comparatively. Now, in terms of goodies on board, both the bikes offer a well equipped speedo console with all the relevant info. Now, both the bikes offer smartphone connectivity and both do offer navigation support, but the Meteor takes the lead here by offering a dedicated display for navigation. The CB loses out here because navigation is only available via their Sena Bluetooth headset, which you have to purchase separately. Now, talking about tires, both the bikes get tubeless tires, but I feel that the Meteor gets better quality C8 tires with a super fat 140 section rear tire as opposed to the MRF zappers on the Highness. I feel the CB would have been better off with 17-inch wheels and would have been much more peppier to ride. The CB actually gets 19-inch front wheel and an 18-inch rear wheel. Now, seat height, as mentioned before, is lower on the Meteor because of its cruiser styling. The seat height on the Highness is 800mm, which is also kind of ideal for riders of all sizes. The ground clearance is ample enough for both the bikes. In terms of pricing, both the bikes are closely priced. The Meteor starts from 1.75 lakhs and goes up to 1.9 lakhs, whereas the Highness starts at 1.85 lakhs and goes up to 1.9 lakhs. So the verdict, the CB350 is awesome, it is built well, it is priced amazingly well. Honda have given it everything that they've got, and barring a few things like the MRF zappers and the awkwardly placed horn switch, it is a great bike by all means. But the Meteor feels it was already prepared for this onslaught from Honda, which is why, if you notice, it seems one step ahead in almost every aspect, be it the ride feel, be it the initial pickup, be it the mid-range surge, be it the navigation package, or be it the fatter tires, or even the looks for that matter, the Meteor clearly offers that big bike feel, and in the matte black attire, it just feels super premium. Now, though on paper the Meteor makes lesser power and lesser torque, this is one more case where we are made to understand that never just go by the numbers on the spec sheet. The ride feel that the Meteor has on offer is far more engaging and more fun. So if I were to pick one for myself, it would definitely be the Meteor. But please do note, even if you like the Highness, you're not losing anything. It is an awesome bike just the way it is. Now, one more point that I would like to add in the verdict that would help you make up your mind more easily is that if you are going to use the bike primarily in the city, then the CB Highness is a better option for you. But if you're going to use the bike mostly on the highways, then the Meteor is a much better option. And again, I can conclude here with the same reference with which I started this Comparo. Kumar Shanuji and Udit Narayanji, both outstanding singers. Some like Kumar Shanu, but some like Udit Narayan. So you can say it all boils down to personal preference. Now, what do you guys think? Which one would you guys pick and why? Please comment below and let me know. So that's pretty much it for now. This concludes my comparo of the Meteor 350 versus the CB350 Highness. If you like what you've seen and want to see more, please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more action right here at Dino's Vault. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, God bless, and ride safe.